So here we are about a month into the 2015 Atlantic hurricane season, and I mean, we don't want to jinx anything, but so far so good. We've only had 2 tropical storms.
Well, one of them was Anna, which was here Mother's Day weekend, and then there was Tropical Storm Bill, which showed up on Father's Day weekend. Their winds only got up to about 60 miles an hour max.
Wait. We had Anna on Mother's Day.
Yep.
And Bill on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Well, now we still have about 5 months to go, and that's plenty of time for Mother Nature to flex her muscle and show her fury. So what can we expect? WBOC Chief Meteorologist Dan Satterfield joins us today. Dan, thanks for coming in and joining us this afternoon. Okay, so the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration predicted a below normal season. Why?
The main reason is because we thought an El Nino would develop. El Nino is an area of warm water that develops off the coast of South America, and that switches the atmosphere around. It makes a lot of hurricanes in the Pacific, but it tends to cause very few hurricanes to form in the Atlantic. So they said with this strong El Nino developing, and boy, they hit that on the money, that we probably wouldn't have very many hurricanes. And this El Nino is getting so strong now, we think there's going to be hardly any.
But they're also saying that doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet.
Nope.
Coastal areas are still facing things. What does that mean for Delmarva?
Well, it means one thing with El Nino summers, you tend to get very few hurricanes, but the ones that develop tend to go up the East Coast instead of into the Gulf. So if we get any, we have to watch out. And it only takes one. Back in the late 90s, we had a strong El Nino, and we only had one hurricane that year, and that was Hurricane Andrew that wiped out Miami. So it only takes one.
It only takes one, even though 11 of them were predicted, 11 named storms.
Yeah, they predicted 6 to 11 named storms. In an average year, we'd have probably 10 to 15. I don't think we'll get above 6 or 7.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more. Let's talk more about the El Nino. Explain to me the El Nino thing.
Okay, normally the winds blow the warm waters in the Pacific and hold them way off toward Asia.
Right.
Every few years, those winds stop blowing and all that warm water sloshes in off the coast of South America. And you can see on that graphic there, see that big red tongue shooting out? That's warmer than normal water. And it's really warmer than normal. That is the strong El Nino. And just yesterday, we got a new run of the ensembles, as we call it. And that red line there, that's the strongest El Nino that we've ever recorded. That was 1997. Now about 6 out of 10 of those computer model runs are above that line.
Oh my goodness.
And you can't really get a good idea from one computer model run, but if you run it several times and take an average with a slightly different start each time, you end up getting a much better forecast. And so those.
Now, what am I looking at here?
Isn't that a riot of color?
It's beautiful.
It's pretty.
Well, this is what's called an RGB satellite image, and what you can do is you can look at different wavelengths of light, and you assign a color to each one. And it turns out that if you look at the green band, only the green band of light, you can pick up smoke, so you make that green. And if you look at a different wavelength, you can pick up dust, that's pink. So what you're looking at in the green, and now we switch to just showing you the smoke alone, but that is the wildfire smoke from Canada wildfires. Probably at least 150 large major fires are burning in Canada and several hundred smaller fires. That smoke yesterday was so bad the air quality in Vancouver, BC was like Beijing.
Wow.
Denver was almost as bad, and you can see it in the air over Delmarva today.
You can.
It's thin, it's a hazy milky sky.
Now you're talking about the El Nino and the changes it's making. What's that going to mean for our winter? Yeah,
that's the good question. I'll tell you this, the last strong El Nino was 2010. We have another name for 2010. Remember what that is? Snowmageddon. Yeah. Every El Nino is different. There's other factors that go into our winter weather, but I can say this, it's going to be an interesting winter. It may be a very interesting winter. This could end the California drought, or at least put a dent in it. Strong El Ninos give California a lot of rain, but not always.
But we still need to keep our eye on the hurricane season. We're not out of the woods, and be prepared.
It's going to be an interesting next 9 months of weather, I can tell you that.
Dan, thank you so much.
Sure.
And of course, for all of the latest weather updates, go to WBOC.com.
Bottom line, it's always best to expect the worst and be as prepared as you possibly can. Then if you don't need it, good news, right? Well, coming up next on Delmarva Life, we're going to run down the list of hurricane precautions that you can take this season, what should be in your hurricane preparedness kit, and why the last minute is not the time that you should be preparing.
Well, a hurricane can also knock out the power to your home, but a propane generator can help keep the lights on. Coming up, we'll run down the benefits of propane and tell you how it can also power other appliances in your home. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.